He was abandoned for being level 1, but discovers his level doesn't rise, because it's already infinite from the start. I'm your anime, and let's go. Imagine being thrown away like trash, because everyone thinks you're worthless. Level 1, the lowest of the low. But here's the twist, you're not weak. You are never weak. Your level doesn't go up because it literally can't go higher than infinity. This is the story of Kaito Hayashi, the boy who broke the system before anyone even knew there was a system to break. Before we dive into this absolutely insane journey, smash that like button if you love stories where the underdog was never actually an underdog, subscribe so you don't miss the next epic recap, and drop a comment telling me what power you'd want if you could break reality itself. Now let's get into it. Kaito is 17 years old and he's standing in the town square with his head down. Around him, adventurers are celebrating. They just returned from a dungeon raid, successful, profitable. Everyone's laughing and drinking and clinking mugs together. The sound of their joy is deafening. Everyone except Kaito. He's wearing leather armor that's seen better days. The chest piece has cracks running through it like spider webs. His sword is chipped in 3 places along the blade. His boots have holes worn through the soles from walking too many miles on stone streets. But none of that matters. Not the armor, not the sword, not even the boots. Because in this world, only one thing matters. Your level. The number floating above your head that everyone can see. The number that determines your worth, your potential, your future. And Kaito's number is 1. It's always been 1. For 17 years, that number hasn't moved. Not once. Not even by a decimal point. His parents tried everything. When he was young, they hired trainers, former adventurers who promised they could unlock his potential. Kaito trained 12 hours a day for 3 years. Nothing. The number stayed at 1. They bought potions, expensive ones imported from distant kingdoms, elixirs that supposedly forced level gains. Kaito drank them until he was sick. Nothing. The number mocked him. They even took him on rare monster hunts. Creatures whose experience values were legendary. Kaito landed the killing blows himself. Nothing. The system didn't acknowledge his existence. It was like he was invisible to the very mechanics that govern power in this world. So 6 months ago, his parents made a decision. They couldn't look at him anymore. Couldn't bear the shame of having a level 1 son when they were both high-ranking adventurers. Couldn't handle the whispers from neighbors, the pity from friends, the disgust from rivals. They abandoned him, left him in the Blackwood Forest outside the capital city with nothing but a rusty sword and a note that said sorry in his mother's handwriting. Sorry, as if that made it okay, as if one word could erase 17 years of raising him, of telling him they loved him, of promising they'd always be there. Sorry. The word haunts him more than the abandonment itself. The irony is delicious because Kaito isn't weak. He's never been weak. Not for a single day of his life. When he was 5 years old, he punched through a stone wall while playing with other children. It was an accident. He'd been pretending to be a hero fighting monsters. He swung his fist at the wall expecting it to hurt. Instead, the wall exploded into dust. The other children screamed and ran. His parents came rushing out. They stared at the destroyed wall, at the rubble, at their son standing in the center with a confused expression. His father said it must have been a fluke, a weak point in the construction. His mother agreed. They paid for repairs and never spoke of it again. When he was 8, he outran a galloping horse without breaking a sweat. It happened during a festival. Racing was part of the entertainment. Horses versus runners. Kaito joined for fun. When the race started, he just ran. Didn't think about it. Just moved his legs. He crossed the finish line 30 seconds before the fastest horse. The crowd was silent. Then someone accused him of cheating, of using magic. Kaito's parents quickly paid the race organizers and took him home. His mother said it was luck, that the horse must have been slow that day. His father agreed. They forbade him from entering races again. When he was 12, he survived a fall from a cliff that should have killed him. He'd been hiking with a group from his school. One of the boys pushed him. A bully who hated that Kaito got attention despite being level 1. Kaito fell 200 feet onto rocks. Everyone rushed to the edge expecting to see a broken body. Instead, they saw Kaito standing up, brushing dirt off his clothes, looking confused about why everyone was screaming. The healers examined him. Not a scratch, not a bruise, not even a sore muscle. His parents said he was blessed, that some god must be watching over him. The temple priest agreed. They performed a ceremony, blessed him officially, charged his parents a donation fee. Nobody asked the real question. Nobody wondered why these impossible things kept happening. They never connected the dots, never asked why their level 1 son could punch through walls and outrun horses and survive fatal falls. They just saw the number, level 1, and that was enough to condemn him, because in their world, the number was everything. And a number that didn't grow meant a person who wasn't worth keeping. Now Kaito lives in the slums of the capital. The Rotten District, people call it, an accurate name. The buildings are falling apart, wood rotted through from decades of neglect, foundations crumbling. He takes odd jobs to survive, carries boxes for merchants who pay in copper coins instead of silver, sweeps floors in taverns where the owners look at him with pity and disgust mixed together. Delivers messages for people who can't read or write, running through streets that smell like sewage and despair. The pay is terrible, but it keeps him alive. Barely. He makes maybe 10 copper coins on a good day. A loaf of bread costs 2. A bed in a shared room costs 3. That leaves him 5 coins for everything else. Water, clothes, medicine if he gets sick, though he never does. He shares a room with 3 other people in a building that should have been condemned years ago. The room is maybe 12 feet by 12 feet, 4 sleeping mats on the floor, a single window with no glass, just wooden shutters that don't close properly. The roof leaks when it rains. Water drips through holes in the ceiling and pools on the floor. They take turns sleeping in the dry spots. The walls are moldy, green and black patches spreading like disease. The smell is overwhelming at first. After a week, Kaito stopped noticing. His roommates are an older man named Darius who lost his leg in a mining accident, a young woman named May who works in a factory making magic stones, and a boy named Jin who's maybe 12 and survives by picking pockets. They don't talk much. Everyone's too tired, too hungry, too defeated by life, but they help each other when they can, share food, watch each other's backs, warn about guards or gangs. It's not friendship exactly, more like survival cooperation. Rats are regular visitors. They come out at night, bold and fearless because there's nothing to fear from humans too weak to fight back. Kaito tried to kill them at first, chased them with a stick, but there's always more. Infinite rats for a rat-infested district. Now he just lets them be. They don't bother him if he doesn't bother them, but it's home, sort of. The closest thing he has to one anyway. Better than sleeping in alleys, better than the forest where his parents left him. At least here he has walls, a roof, leaky as it is, people who know his name even if they don't particularly care about him. Today is different though. Today Kaito gets a job offer that changes everything. A merchant named Gregor approaches him in the market. The market is in the commercial district, not the slums. Kaito goes there sometimes because the merchants pay slightly better for labor. Gregor is fat and sweaty and his smile doesn't reach his eyes. His clothes are expensive, silk and velvet. His rings are gold, real gold, not the cheap brass most merchants wear. He's successful, that much is obvious, which makes it weird that he's talking to Kaito. People like Gregor don't acknowledge people like Kaito unless they want something, and what he wants is simple. He needs someone to guard a shipment of goods through the Blackwood Forest. The same forest where Kaito's parents abandoned him. The irony isn't lost on Kaito. Gregor explains the details. The shipment needs to reach a town called Millbrook. It's 2 days travel through dangerous territory. The forest is full of monsters, goblins mostly, but also wolves and bears and things worse than those. Gregor needs someone who can fight, someone who won't run at the first sign of danger, someone desperate enough to accept a job that legitimate adventurers are refusing. The pay is 50 silver coins. That's more money than Kaito has seen in months. More money than he's held in his entire life maybe. 50 silver could feed him for 3 months, could get him a private room, could buy him new armor and a better sword, could change his circumstances completely. But there's a catch. There's always a catch. The forest is dangerous, really dangerous. Monsters live there, strong monsters. Gregor has already asked 20 other adventurers. All of them turned him down. The risk is too high for the pay. Most of them want 100 silver or more. Some wanted 200. Gregor can't afford that, or won't. So he's asking the desperate, the level ones, the people who don't have the luxury of saying no. Kaito should say no. Should walk away. Should find safer work. But 50 silver. 50 silver means food for 2 months. Maybe 3 if he's careful. Maybe 4 if he's really careful. Means not going to bed hungry. Means clean water instead of the swill from the public wells. Means medicine if Darius's leg gets infected again. Means a lot of things that matter more than safety. So he accepts. Gregor's smile widens. It's not a nice smile. It's the smile of a man who knows he's taking advantage of someone. But Kaito doesn't care. He needs the money. They leave at dawn. The journey starts normally. Too normally. Gregor has a wagon loaded with wooden crates. 6 of them, each one sealed with iron bands and heavy padlocks. He won't say what's inside. Trade secret, he claims. His eyes shift when he says it. Kaito doesn't push. It's none of his business what he's hauling. He's just the guard, the muscle, the expendable level 1 who will probably die, but at least Gregor tried. Kaito walks beside the wagon with his hand on his sword. The weapon is old. The blade is chipped. The handle is worn smooth from decades of use by people who are now probably dead, but it's sharp enough. Kaito keeps it sharp, spends his evenings honing the edge with a whetstone he stole from a blacksmith 2 years ago. The forest is quiet, too quiet. This is the first warning sign. Forests are never quiet. There should be birds singing, insects buzzing, small animals rustling through underbrush, but there's nothing, just silence, heavy and oppressive like a blanket made of dread. No birds, no insects, no animals, just the sound of wheels on dirt and Gregor's heavy breathing. The man is nervous. His eyes dart to the trees constantly. His hands grip the wagon's reins too tight. White knuckles, trembling fingers. He knows something he didn't tell Kaito, but it's too late to turn back now. They're 2 hours into the forest. The capital is behind them. Millbrook is ahead. The only way out is through. They're 2 hours in when the first goblin appears. It emerges from behind a tree maybe 30 feet ahead. Small and green with skin like moldy leather. Its ears are pointed and torn. Its eyes are yellow with black slits for pupils. It's holding a crude club made from a tree branch with nails hammered through it. Amateur weapon, painful but not particularly deadly. The goblin is wearing scraps of armor, leather pieces stolen from dead adventurers probably. Above its head, the level indicator shows 15 in glowing red numbers. 15. Kaito's stomach sinks like a stone dropped in deep water. He's level 1. This goblin is 15 times stronger than him, at least according to the system, according to the numbers that govern this world. This should be impossible. This should be a death sentence. A level 1 fighting a level 15 is like a child fighting a trained soldier. It doesn't end well for the child. Gregor sees the goblin and goes pale. His face loses all color. His breathing gets faster, panicked. He's about to bolt, about to abandon the wagon and run. Kaito can see it in his eyes. But running won't help. Goblins are pack hunters. If there's one, there's more. Always more. They hunt in groups, surround their prey, attack from all sides. Running just means dying tired. Better to fight, better to try. The goblin charges. It's fast. Faster than Kaito expected. It covers the 30 feet in maybe 3 seconds. The club comes up. Swings at Kaito's head with enough force to crack bone. Kaito doesn't think, doesn't plan, doesn't strategize. His body just reacts on pure instinct. He sidesteps the attack. The club whooshes past his ear close enough that he feels the wind. His sword comes up without conscious thought. His arm moves. The blade cuts through air, through flesh, through bone. The goblin's head separates from its body before the corpse even starts to fall. It's clean, surgical, efficient. The body hits the ground and immediately begins to dissolve. That's how it works with monsters. When they die, they turn into particles of light and fade away, leave behind only magic stones, small crystals that contain their essence, their power, their monetary value. This goblin leaves a stone the size of Kaito's thumbnail, worth about 3 silver coins if he can find a buyer. Gregor is staring at Kaito with wide eyes. His mouth is open. His face is still pale, but now there's something else there too. Confusion, wonder, fear maybe. How did you do that? He asks. His voice is shaky, uncertain. Kaito doesn't answer because he doesn't know. He's never fought a monster before. Never trained with the sword beyond basic drills that his parents made him do when he was young. A few hours a week of going through forms, learning stances, practicing swings. Nothing serious, nothing that would prepare him for actual combat. But somehow his body knew exactly what to do, knew how to move, where to step, when to strike. It was like he'd fought 1,000 battles instead of 0, like the knowledge was buried in his muscles, in his bones, waiting to be used. More goblins come. They pour out of the trees like water breaking through a dam. 5 of them at first, then 5 more, then another group of 10. They come from all directions, surrounding the wagon, cutting off escape routes, classic ambush tactics. They're organized, working together, communicating with clicking sounds and hand gestures. Some of them have bows, crude things made of bent wood and sinew. They knock arrows with stone tips, aim at Kaito and Gregor. Others have swords, real swords stolen from dead adventurers. Better weapons than Kaito's chipped blade. All of them are level 10 to 20. All of them should be able to kill Kaito with ease. The numbers say so, the system says so, common sense says so, but they don't. Kaito moves through them like a dancer through fog, like a ghost through walls, like a nightmare through dreams. His sword cuts through flesh and bone like they're made of paper, like they're not even solid. Every swing is perfect, every step is precise, every movement is exactly what it needs to be. Nothing more, nothing less. A goblin lunges from his left, he spins, his blade opens its throat, it falls gurgling, dissolves. Another attacks from behind, sword raised. Kaito doesn't look, just stabs backwards, feels the resistance. The blade goes through ribs, through heart, through spine, pulls out, the goblin drops. Arrows come at him from 3 directions simultaneously. He dodges 2, catches the 3rd in midair, snaps it, throws the pieces. 1 piece hits a goblin archer in the eye. It screams and falls from its tree. 3 goblins charge together, coordinated attack, high, middle, low, designed to overwhelm. Kaito jumps, goes over the high attack, lands on the middle goblin's head, uses it as a springboard, kicks off. The goblin's neck snaps from the force. Kaito flips in midair, lands behind the low attacker, sword through the back of its skull, dead before it realizes he's behind it. The 3rd goblin turns, too slow. Kaito's already moving, horizontal slash, takes its head off at jaw level. In 5 minutes, 30 goblins are dead. The forest floor is covered in dissolving corpses and magic stones. Small crystals glowing faintly in the dim light filtering through the canopy. The air smells like blood and sulfur. The sulfur is from the dissolution. Monsters don't leave normal corpses. They break down into magical particles, return to the mana that created them, leave only the stones behind, evidence they existed, proof they died. Gregor is stammering. He can't form complete sentences. His brain is trying to process what he just saw. A level 1 adventurer. A boy most people wouldn't trust to carry luggage, just killed 30 monsters without getting hit once, without slowing down, without even breathing hard. You're level 1, he finally manages to say, his voice cracks. How? How is this possible? Kaito looks at his hands. They're covered in blood. Green goblin blood. It's thick and sticky and smells like rotten vegetables. But his hands aren't shaking. They should be shaking. He just killed 30 living things, took 30 lives, ended 30 existences. He should be terrified, should be traumatized, should be on the ground vomiting from shock and adrenaline, but he feels fine, better than fine. He feels alive, more alive than he's ever felt. His heart is beating steady, his breathing is calm, his mind is clear. There's no panic, no fear, no doubt, just a strange sense of satisfaction, like he did something he was meant to do, like he found a purpose he didn't know he was looking for. I don't know, he admits to Gregor. I really don't know. Gregor looks at the pile of magic stones. There must be 90 of them scattered across the ground, maybe 100, each one worth 2 to 5 silver coins depending on quality. Quick mental math puts the total value around 90 silver, maybe more if they're lucky. Gregor's eyes get greedy, that look Kaito has seen before. The look people get when they see money, when they see opportunity, when they see something they want. Keep moving, Gregor says. His voice is steadier now, firmer, more businesslike. Reach the next town before dark. We can this forest. Round, Kaito agrees. He starts collecting the magic stone into a pouch, linked together like time he's done. The core fully dissolved. Nothing left but scorch marks where they fell. They get back on the wagon. Gregor whips They move faster now. Urgent. The forest seems darker somehow, more oppressive. The silence is heavier. Kaito keeps his hand on his sword, keeps his eyes on the trees, keeps his senses alert. More monsters will come. He knows it. Goblins travel in tribes. 30 dead means there's a tribe nearby, and tribes have leaders. Strong ones. Level 40 or 50 maybe. If a chieftain shows up, things will get interesting. They encounter more monsters. Wolves, bears. A giant snake with scales like armor. All of them die. Kaito doesn't understand what's happening, but he's starting to suspect something. His level is 1. That's true, but what if 1 doesn't mean weak? What if it means something else entirely? They reach the town of Millbrook by sunset. It's a small place, maybe 200 people. Gregor pays Kaito his 50 silver, and then immediately tries to hire him for another job. Double the pay, he offers. Kaito declines. He needs time to think, time to figure out what's wrong with him, or what's right with him. He rents a room at the inn. It's the first time he's slept in a real bed in months. The sheets are clean, the mattress is soft. He should sleep well, but he doesn't. He lies awake, staring at the ceiling and thinking about the goblins, about how easy it was to kill them, about how his sword cut through them without resistance, about the level above his head that refuses to change. Morning comes and Kaito goes to the Adventurers Guild. It's a small building with a wooden sign that's seen better weather. Inside, a woman sits behind a desk. She's maybe 30 years old with red hair and sharp eyes. Her name tag says Mira. Kaito asks about level testing. She looks at the number above his head and sighs. "You're level 1, she says flatly. There's no point testing you, but Kaito insists. He shows her the magic stones from yesterday. 97 silver worth. She raises an eyebrow. "Where did you steal these?" she asks. He didn't steal them, he earned them. She doesn't believe him until he describes the monsters, the locations, the timing, details only someone who was actually there would know. "Fine," she says. "We'll test you, but when it shows you're level 1, you're leaving and never coming back. The test is simple. Hit a crystal with your strongest attack. The crystal measures impact force and compares it to your level. A level 1 should produce about 10 points of force. A level 50 should produce 500. Mira leads Kaito to the testing room. It's a basement with stone walls and a crystal the size of a person mounted on a pedestal. "Hit it," she instructs. Kaito raises his sword and swings. He doesn't hold back. The moment his blade connects with the crystal, there's a sound like thunder. The entire building shakes. The crystal explodes into 1,000 pieces. Mira is thrown backwards into the wall. Kaito is standing in the same spot, sword still extended, completely unharmed. There's silence. Then Mira starts laughing. It's not a happy laugh. It's the laugh of someone whose entire worldview just shattered. She pulls herself up and stares at Kaito with something between awe and terror. "What are you?" she whispers. Kaito lowers his sword. "I'm level 1, he says. She shakes her head. "No, you're something else. Something that broke the system." Mira takes Kaito to see the guild master. His name is Marcus. He's an old man with scars covering his arms and a level 73 floating above his head. Marcus listens to Mira's report in silence. Then he asks Kaito to show him his status screen. In this world, everyone has a status screen. It shows your level, your stats, your skills, your equipment. You access it by thinking the word status. Kaito does. A translucent blue screen appears in front of him. And that's when they see it. Level 1, but every stat underneath is marked with an infinity symbol. Strength infinite, speed infinite, endurance infinite, intelligence infinite. Marcus goes pale. He's seen a lot in his 50 years of adventuring, but he's never seen this. Never even heard of it. He asks Kaito if he's always been like this. Kaito doesn't know. He's never checked his full status before. In this world, most people only look at their level. The detailed stats are for serious adventurers, not orphans living in slums. Marcus explains what this means. In normal circumstances, when you're born, you start at level 1. As you kill monsters and gain experience, your level increases. Each level gives you stat points to distribute, but there's a maximum, level 100. After that, you can't level up anymore. You're capped. The strongest adventurers in history reached level 98. Nobody has ever hit the cap. Except Kaito isn't level 100, he's level 1. but his stats are infinite. It's like the system looked at him when he was born and said this one's already maxed out. There's nowhere for him to go. So it just locked him at level 1 and gave him everything. Marcus has a theory. He thinks Kaito is what's called a paradox, a person who breaks the fundamental rules of reality. They appear once every 1,000 years or so. Usually they die young, their bodies can't handle the power, but sometimes they survive. And when they do, they reshape the world. Kaito asks what he should do. Marcus tells him to keep his power secret. If word gets out, people will come for him. Nobles who want to use him, criminals who want to kill him, churches who want to worship him. The attention will destroy him faster than any monster, but Kaito can't hide forever. Word spreads fast in small towns. By noon, everyone in Millbrook knows that a level 1 adventurer destroyed the guild's testing crystal. By evening, people are gathering outside the inn where Kaito is staying. Some are curious, some are afraid, some are angry. They think he cheated somehow, used illegal magic, made a deal with demons. The town guard has to disperse the crowd 3 times. Kaito makes a decision. He's leaving. Tonight, he packs his few belongings and slips out through the inn's back window. Mira is waiting for him in the alley. She hands him a bag. Inside is food, water, a new sword, and a map. "Where are you going?" she asks. He doesn't know. Away, somewhere he can figure out what he is without people staring at him like he's a monster. She nods. She understands. But before he leaves, she gives him one piece of advice. Find the Sage of Rostwood. He lives in the mountains 300 miles north. If anyone can explain what you are, it's him. Kaito thanks her and disappears into the night. The journey north is long. Kaito walks mostly. Sometimes he runs. His infinite endurance means he never gets tired. He can run for days without stopping if he wants to, but he forces himself to pace normally, to rest when normal people would rest, to eat when normal people would eat. He's trying to stay human, trying not to let the power change him. Along the way, he helps people. A farmer whose cart is stuck in mud. Kaito lifts it with one hand, a village being attacked by bandits. Kaito defeats all 12 without breaking a sweat. A merchant whose daughter is sick. Kaito carries her 60 miles to the nearest healer. He runs the entire way, gets there in 4 hours. The daughter survives. Each time people ask his name. Each time he lies. He calls himself different things. Ren, Soda, Hero. He never stays long enough for anyone to remember his face, just his deeds. Stories start spreading. Tales of a mysterious wanderer who appears when people need help and vanishes before they can thank him. Some call him the Ghost. Others call him the Silent Guardian. Nobody connects him to Kaito, the level 1 boy from the slums. 3 weeks into his journey, Kaito reaches a city called Ironhold. It's massive, 10 times bigger than the capital where he grew up. The walls are 50 feet high and made of black stone. Guards patrol the ramparts with crossbows and suspicious eyes. Kaito joins the line of people waiting to enter. When it's his turn, the guard looks at his level and sneers. 1 copper for entry, he says. That's the tax for level 1s. Everyone else pays silver. It's designed to keep out the weak, the undesirables. Kaito pays without complaint. Inside the city is chaos, merchants shouting, children running, adventurers haggling over equipment. Kaito finds an inn on the south side. It's cheap and dirty, but the door locks, and that's enough. He's planning to stay one night and leave at dawn, but fate has other plans. That evening, Kaito is eating dinner in the common room when a group of adventurers walks in. 5 of them, all wearing expensive armor, all level 40 or higher. Their leader is a woman with blonde hair and a scar across her cheek. Her name is Elena, level 47. She spots Kaito and laughs. "Look at this," she calls to her friends. "A level 1 in Ironhold. What did you do? Get lost." Her friends laugh. Kaito ignores them and keeps eating, but Elena doesn't like being ignored. She walks over and knocks his plate off the table. It shatters on the floor. "Oops," she says. Her friends laugh harder. Kaito stands up slowly. He's taller than her by half a foot. His expression is calm, but his eyes are cold. "I don't want trouble," he says quietly. Elena grins. "Too bad. Trouble found you." She reaches for her sword. That's when the innkeeper intervenes. "No fighting," he shouts. "Take it outside or get out." Elena considers this. Then she nods. "Fine, outside. You and me, 1 strike each. If you survive, I'll pay for your meal. If you don't, Well, my friends will carry your corpse to the dump. Kaito could walk away, should walk away, but something in him is tired of running, tired of hiding, tired of being treated like garbage because of a number. Alright, he agrees. Outside, the street is empty. It's late and cold and most people are inside. Elena draws her sword. It's a beautiful weapon, steel blade with gold inlay. Probably cost more than Kaito has earned in his entire life. She takes a stance. Professional, practiced. This isn't her first duel. Ready? She asks. Kaito nods. He doesn't draw his sword. He just stands there with his arms at his sides. Elena frowns. Draw your weapon, she demands. Kaito shakes his head. You get one strike, he reminds her. Make it count. Her frown deepens. Then she shrugs. Your funeral. She lunges forward with incredible speed. The blade is aimed at Kaito's chest, a killing blow. It should pierce his heart before he can blink, but it doesn't. The sword hits his chest and stops, completely stops, like it struck a mountain instead of flesh. There's a ringing sound. The blade shatters. Pieces of metal fall to the ground like broken glass. Elena stares at her ruined weapon in shock. What? She starts to say. Kaito's fist moves. One punch. Not even that hard by his standards. It catches Elena in the stomach and sends her flying backwards 30 feet. She crashes into a wall and slides to the ground unconscious. Her friends rush to check on her. One of them looks at Kaito with wide, terrified eyes. What are you? He stammers. Kaito picks up a piece of the broken sword and examines it. Just a level 1, he says. Then he turns and walks back into the inn. The next morning, Kaito leaves Ironhold before anyone can ask questions. He continues north. The mountains are getting closer. The air is getting colder. He passes through forests where the trees are so tall they block out the sun. He crosses rivers that run so fast they'd sweep away a normal person. He climbs cliffs that would take experienced climbers days to scale. He does all of it without effort, without thought. It's almost boring. He's starting to understand why Marcus warned him. This power doesn't just make him strong, it makes him separate, different, other. He can't relate to normal struggles anymore. Can't understand why people complain about being tired or hungry or cold. Those things don't touch him. He's alone in a way that has nothing to do with having no friends. He's alone because there's nobody like him, nobody who could possibly understand what it's like to be infinite in a finite world. If you're enjoying this absolute insanity and want to see how Kaito handles what comes next, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed because this story only gets more mind-blowing from here. Trust me, wait until you see what the sage reveals about his power. Let's continue. Kaito reaches the mountains after 5 weeks of travel. The sage's tower is supposed to be at the peak of Mount Rostwood, the tallest mountain in the range. Most people take weeks to climb it with proper equipment and guides. Kaito does it in 3 hours. He just walks straight up the side. Infinite strength means gravity is more of a suggestion than a law. At the summit, he finds the tower. It's made of white stone and covered in glowing runes. The door opens before he can knock. An old man stands in the doorway. He's thin and frail looking, with a long white beard and eyes that seem to see through everything. His level says 91. The highest Kaito has seen. You're late, the sage says. I expected you 2 days ago. Kaito blinks. You were expecting me. The sage nods. I've been tracking your energy signature since you destroyed that testing crystal. Come in, we have much to discuss. Inside, the tower is bigger than it should be. The walls are lined with books, thousands of them, maybe tens of thousands. The sage leads Kaito to a sitting room and gestures to a chair. Kaito sits. The sage remains standing and studies him like a particularly interesting specimen. You're a paradox, he says without preamble. The first one in 1200 years. Do you know what that means? Kaito shakes his head. The sage walks to a bookshelf and pulls out an ancient tome. He opens it to a marked page and shows Kaito an illustration. It depicts a person with infinite symbols glowing around their body. This is you, the sage explains. A paradox occurs when the system that governs levels and stats encounters something it can't process. Usually it's because of bloodline mixing. Your parents, were they adventurers? Kaito nods. Both of them, high level. My father was 63, my mother was 58. The sage hums thoughtfully, and you're their only child. Kaito nods again. The sage closes the book. That's the trigger. Sometimes when two high-level individuals have a child, their bloodlines combine in unexpected ways. The system tries to calculate the child's potential and arrives at a number it can't handle, infinity, so it locks them at level 1 to prevent catastrophic failure. But all the power is still there, dormant, waiting. Kaito absorbs this, so I was born like this. The sage nods. From the moment you drew your first breath, you were the strongest being on the planet. You just didn't know it. Your parents didn't know it. Nobody knew it, because all anyone could see was the number. The sage pauses. There's more. The last paradox was a woman named Arya. She lived 12 centuries ago during the Age of Dragons. She ended a war that had lasted 300 years, killed the Dragon King with her bare hands, reshaped continents, became worshipped as a goddess. Then she disappeared. Some say she ascended to a higher plane. Others say she died of boredom. Nobody knows for sure. Kaito feels a chill. I don't want to be worshipped, he says quietly. The sage smiles. Good. Worship corrupts. It turns people into symbols instead of letting them remain human. But you need to understand something, Kaito. You can't hide forever. Your power is too great. Eventually something will happen that forces you to use it. And when that happens, the world will change, whether you want it to or not. Kaito stays with the sage for 3 months. During that time, he learns to control his power, not suppress it, he can't do that, but control how much he uses. The sage teaches him techniques for appearing normal, how to hold back enough that he doesn't accidentally destroy everything he touches, how to gauge appropriate responses to threats, how to blend in without standing out. It's harder than it sounds. Kaito's natural state is overwhelming force. Learning to be gentle requires constant concentration. But he practices every day, lifting objects without crushing them, walking without cracking the floor, speaking without his voice carrying for miles. The sage is a patient teacher. He's dealt with powerful beings before, not paradoxes, but gods and demons and ancient spirits. He knows how to handle the truly dangerous, how to guide without controlling, how to advise without commanding. During the 3rd month, the sage asks Kaito a question. What do you want? Kaito thinks about it for a long time. He's never really considered what he wants. His whole life has been about survival, about making it through another day. But now survival is guaranteed. He can't die, can't be hurt, can't be stopped. So what does he want? Finally he answers, I want to help people. The way I couldn't help my parents when they abandoned me. The way I couldn't help the other orphans in the slums. I want to make sure nobody else feels worthless because of a number they can't control. The sage nods approvingly, a noble goal. But be careful, the moment you start helping people, you become a symbol, a hero, and heroes attract attention, both good and bad. Kaito accepts this. He's tired of hiding anyway. The sage gives Kaito one final gift before he leaves. It's a ring, plain silver with no decorations. When you wear this, it will disguise your true power. The sage explains. People will see you as level 30, strong but not extraordinary. Use it when you want to move unnoticed. Take it off when you need your full strength. Kaito slips it on and immediately feels different, lighter, less. He checks his status screen and sees the number above his head change from 1 to 30. Perfect! He thanks the sage and prepares to leave. The old man walks him to the door. One more thing, the sage says. There are others like you. Not paradoxes, but beings who break the rules. The Demon King, the Celestial Empress, the Void Walker. They've been quiet for centuries, but they're still out there. Eventually, your paths will cross. When they do, remember, just because you're infinite doesn't mean you're invincible. Pride has killed more powerful beings than weakness ever could. Kaito promises to remember. Then he descends the mountain and returns to the world. Kaito decides to become an adventurer, a real one this time. Not someone taking desperate jobs for survival money. Someone who hunts monsters and protects people and makes a difference. He returns to Ironhold and registers with the guild. The receptionist sees his level 30 and doesn't bat an eye. She gives him a bronze badge and access to beginner quests. The pay is decent. The work is straightforward. Kill 10 goblins, collect 5 herbs, escort a merchant. Kaito does them all easily. Too easily. He has to remind himself to slow down. to make it look like he's struggling sometimes, to act tired after fights, to pretend injuries matter. It's exhausting in a different way than physical labor. This is mental exhaustion, the constant performance, the endless lying, but he endures because the alternative is revealing what he really is, and he's not ready for that. 3 months pass. Kaito rises through the ranks slowly, bronze to silver, silver to gold. Each promotion requires completing quests and passing evaluations. Kaito makes sure to pass but never excel, always just good enough, never exceptional. He makes friends with other adventurers. There's Marcus, a level 35 warrior with a drinking problem and a heart of gold. There's Yuki, a level 28 mage who specializes in ice magic and terrible jokes. There's Leon, a level 42 tank who takes his job very seriously and his life not seriously at all. They become Kaito's party. They work well together. Marcus hits hard. Yuki controls the battlefield, Leon absorbs damage, and Kaito does whatever needs doing. He's versatile in a way that comes from having infinite stats. He can out-damage Marcus when needed, out-control Yuki when required, out-tank Leon when necessary. But he's careful never to do all three at once, never to show just how much he's holding back. Their first major quest together is clearing a dungeon called the Serpent's Maw. It's a cave system infested with snake monsters. The quest pays 200 gold coins split 4 ways. Good money. The dungeon is supposed to be rank B, dangerous for anyone under level 40, but their party has Leon who's 42 and Marcus who's almost 40. They should be fine. They enter the dungeon at dawn. The first level is easy, small snakes. Level 20 at most. Yuki freezes them. Marcus cuts them apart. Leon shields the group from poison spit. Kaito hangs back and acts supportive. The second level is harder. The snakes are bigger, level 30 to 35. They have scale armor that resists normal weapons. The party has to work together. Leon taunts them. Marcus finds weak points. Yuki amplifies damage with ice debuffs. Kaito jumps in when someone's in danger, but otherwise stays back. It takes 3 hours to clear the second level. They're making good progress. The third level is where things go wrong. They encounter a snake they weren't expecting, a boss monster, the Serpent Queen. She's massive, 50 feet long with scales like black diamonds and venom that melts stone. Her level says 65, way above what they can handle. Leon immediately orders a retreat, but the Serpent Queen is faster. She lunges at Yuki. Her fangs are aimed at the mage's throat. Kaito moves without thinking. One moment he's 20 feet away. The next he's in front of Yuki with his hand wrapped around the Serpent Queen's fang. He stops her cold. The impact creates a shockwave that rattles the entire cavern. Everyone freezes. The Serpent Queen is staring at Kaito with confusion. This tiny human just stopped her attack like it was nothing. She tries to pull back, can't. Kaito's grip is unbreakable. He looks into her eyes and speaks calmly. Leave, now, or I'll break more than your fang. The Serpent Queen is intelligent enough to recognize a threat. She wrenches her head back hard enough that the fang Kaito's holding snaps off. Hell was that? Kaito looks how easily. Leon steps forward. His face is serious. How high? Kaito considers lying, considers running, but he's tired of hiding, tired of pretending. These people just saw him save Yuki's life. They deserve the truth. He reaches up and removes the ring the sage gave him. The disguise drops. His level changes from 30 to 1. His friends stare in disbelief. 1. Marcus says slowly, "You're level 1, but you just how?" Kaito sits down on a rock. This is going to sound insane. He starts his childhood. Infinite stats. All of it. Yuki laughs. I knew you were hiding something. Why are you here? With us. You could be anywhere. Do anything. Why waste your time with bronze and silver quests? Kaito meets his gaze. Because I like you guys. Because you treat me like a person instead of a number. Because this, he gestures at the cavern, is the first time in my life I felt like I belong somewhere. Leon considers this. Then he nods. Alright, but no more hiding. If we're a party, we trust each other completely. That means no more pretending to struggle. No more holding back in fights. You use whatever power you need to keep us safe. Deal. Kaito feels something tight in his chest loosen. Deal. They clear the Serpent's Maw in 2 more hours. With Kaito not holding back, it's almost comical. He walks through level 50 snakes like they're made of paper, punches through stone walls to create shortcuts, carries everyone across a chasm because the bridge is broken. By the time they reach the treasure room, his party is half amazed and half terrified. The treasure is impressive. Gold coins, magic items, rare materials. They split it evenly, even though everyone agrees Kaito did 90% of the work. Back in Ironhold, they register the quest completion. The guild receptionist sees that they cleared a rank B dungeon and barely looks tired. She's suspicious but can't prove anything. News spreads fast though. A party cleared the Serpent's Maw in one day. Usually it takes 3. Other adventurers start paying attention to Kaito's group, some with respect, some with envy, some with calculation. The attention makes Kaito uncomfortable, but he endures it. This is what he wanted, to help people, to make a difference. The attention is just part of the cost. Their reputation grows. They take harder quests, rank A dungeons, dragon subjugations, demon hunts. Each time, Kaito does most of the heavy lifting, but his party isn't useless. Marcus finds weaknesses, Yuki creates openings, Leon coordinates strategy. They work together like a well-oiled machine. 6 months after clearing the Serpent's Maw, they're invited to join the Platinum tier. It's an exclusive rank for adventurers who've proven themselves exceptional. Only 50 parties in the entire kingdom hold this status. The benefits are substantial: higher pay, access to restricted areas, political protection, they accept. The ceremony is held in the capital. Thousands of people attend, nobles, merchants, other adventurers. Even the king makes an appearance. He's a middle-aged man with kind eyes and a level 81 floating above his head, the highest in the kingdom besides the sage. He congratulates each party personally. When he reaches Kaito, he pauses. "Your level," he says quietly. "I've heard rumors. Is it true?" Kaito nods. The king studies him for a long moment, then he smiles. "Good. The kingdom needs people like you, people who don't fit into neat categories. Just remember, power without purpose is destruction. Use yours wisely." Kaito promises he will. Real quick, before we get to the insane confrontation that changes everything, hit that like button if you've been captivated by this journey, subscribe so you don't miss more stories like this every week, and comment below what you would do with infinite power. Now let's see how this incredible tale reaches its climax. Everything changes 3 months later. Kaito and his party are in the Northern Territories investigating reports of villages disappearing, entire communities gone overnight. No bodies, no signs of struggle, just empty buildings and an eerie silence. They've checked 5 villages so far. All the same, it's disturbing in a way that monsters aren't. Monsters you can fight. This is something else, something worse. On the 6th day, they find the source, a rift. It's a tear in reality floating 20 feet above the ground. Through it, they can see another world. Red sky, black ground, creatures moving in the distance. The rift is pulsing with energy, growing larger. Yuki examines it with magic. "This is a dimensional portal," she says. "Something from another world is trying to come through. Whatever it is, it's powerful. Level 90 at minimum. We need to report this to the capital immediately." But they don't get the chance. Something emerges from the rift. It's humanoid but wrong. Too tall, too thin. Its skin is black like obsidian and covered in glowing red cracks. Its eyes are empty voids. Its mouth is full of too many teeth. Above its head, the level indicator shows question marks. The system can't measure it. The creature sees them and smiles. Then it speaks. Its voice sounds like grinding glass. Finally, pray. It moves. Faster than anything Kaito has ever seen. Faster than should be possible. It appears in front of Leon and swings one elongated arm. Leon raises his shield. The impact sends him flying 500 feet through 3 trees and a boulder. He doesn't get up. Marcus roars and charges. His sword glows with enhancement magic. He swings with all his strength. The creature catches the blade with one hand and crushes it. Then it backhands Marcus into the ground hard enough to create a crater. Marcus coughs blood and goes still. Yuki tries to run, tries to teleport. The creature is already behind her. It grabs her by the head and lifts her off the ground. She screams. Kaito moves. He covers the distance in a microsecond. His fist connects with the creature's face and sends it flying backwards through the rift it came from. Yuki falls. Kaito catches her before she hits the ground. He sets her down gently and turns to face the rift. The creature emerges again. This time it's not smiling. It touches its face where Kaito hit it. There's a crack. Actual damage. It looks at Kaito with something resembling interest. "Strong," it says. "Good. I haven't had a real fight in centuries." Kaito doesn't respond. He's checking his party. Leon is unconscious but breathing. Broken ribs, internal bleeding. Marcus is worse. Skull fracture, punctured lung. Both of them need immediate healing or they'll die. Yuki is in the best shape, but she's terrified. Kaito makes a decision. He removes the ring the sage gave him. His level changes from 30 to 1. The creature laughs. Level 1. How delightful. This will be even easier than I thought. Kaito's eyes go cold. He takes a step forward and the ground beneath him shatters. Power radiates from his body like heat from the sun. The air itself seems to warp. Yuki gasps. She can feel the energy pouring off him. It's like standing next to a star. The creature stops laughing. It's finally sensing what Kaito really is. Too late. Kaito moves. He appears in front of the creature and punches it in the chest. The impact creates a sonic boom that levels every tree for a mile. The creature is sent flying backwards so fast it becomes a blur. It crashes into the rift. Through the rift, into whatever world lies beyond. Kaito doesn't stop. He follows, jumps through the rift into hell itself. The other world is exactly as wrong as it looked. Red sky filled with black clouds. Ground made of obsidian that cracks under Kaito's feet. The air smells like sulfur and decay. In the distance, he can see cities. Massive structures made of bone and metal. This isn't a random dimension, it's a civilization, an entire world of creatures like the one he just fought. And they're all staring at him, hundreds of them, thousands, all with question marks above their heads, all emanating power that would terrify normal humans. But Kaito isn't normal, he's infinite, and he's angry. The creature he punched is pulling itself out of a crater. It's regenerating, the crack on its face is healing. It looks at Kaito with genuine respect now. "You're not from this world," it says. "What are you?" "I'm someone you shouldn't have provoked," Kaito replies. Then he attacks. The fight is brutal. Kaito doesn't hold back even slightly. Every punch shatters the ground. Every kick creates shockwaves. The creature fights back with magic and speed and impossible strength. It can regenerate from almost any wound, can teleport short distances, can manipulate the environment, but none of it matters. Kaito is faster, stronger, more durable. He doesn't get tired, doesn't slow down, doesn't stop. He breaks the creature's arms. It regenerates. He crushes its skull. It regenerates. He tears it in half. It regenerates. But each time it comes back, it's a little slower, a little weaker. Regeneration has limits. After 30 minutes of constant destruction, the creature finally stays down. Kaito stands over its broken body and speaks clearly. "Tell your people this world is off limits. Anyone who comes through that rift dies." Understood. The creature nods weakly. Kaito grabs it by the throat and throws it into the nearest city. The message is delivered. He turns and jumps back through the rift. On the other side, Yuki has managed to stabilize Marcus and Leon with healing potions. They're alive, but barely. Kaito lands beside them and the rift behind him starts to close. It shrinks rapidly until it's the size of a pinprick. Then it vanishes completely. Whatever magic was holding it open has been disrupted. The dimensional invasion is over before it really began. Yuki looks at Kaito. His clothes are shredded. His body is covered in burns and cuts from the other world's hostile environment. But as she watches, the wounds heal. In seconds, he's completely restored. She swallows hard. "What was that place?" she asks. Kaito sits down heavily. "Another dimension, full of creatures like that one. They were trying to invade. I stopped them. For now." Marcus coughs. He's regained consciousness. "Did you just stop an entire dimensional invasion by yourself?" Kaito nods. Marcus starts laughing, then stops because it hurts. "You're insane, completely insane, and I'm glad you're on our side." They return to the capital with news of the rift. The king summons them immediately. Kaito explains what happened, what he saw, what he did. The king listens in grave silence. Then he makes a decision. He declares Kaito a hero of the kingdom. It's the highest honor that can be bestowed. Along with it comes responsibilities. Kaito is now officially responsible for defending the kingdom from threats beyond normal comprehension. Dimensional invasions, ancient evils, gods and demons. The things that keep kings awake at night. Kaito accepts. Not because he wants the title, but because someone has to do it, and he's the only one who can. The ceremony is huge. The entire capital celebrates, but Kaito barely notices. He's thinking about the other world. about the thousands of creatures watching him, about the fact that he made enemies of an entire dimension. The sage's words echo in his mind. Pride has killed more powerful beings than weakness ever could. Kaito isn't proud, but he is aware that he just painted a target on his back that won't ever disappear. 6 months pass. Kaito and his party continue adventuring, but now they're also the kingdom's first line of defense against the truly weird. They fight a necromancer who's trying to resurrect a dead god, stop a cult from summoning an eldritch abomination, prevent a time traveler from creating a paradox that would erase the present. Each threat is more bizarre than the last. Each one requires Kaito to use more of his power. He's becoming known, not as a level 1, not as a paradox, but as the strongest person alive. People start calling him the Infinite Hero. He hates the name, but it sticks. Other powerful beings start seeking him out. Some want to fight him, test themselves against infinity. Kaito defeats them all. Some want to recruit him, offer him wealth or power or knowledge. Kaito refuses them all. Some just want to meet him, to see if the rumors are true. Kaito tolerates these meetings but doesn't enjoy them. Fame is exhausting in ways he never anticipated. The Demon King makes contact. He's one of the beings the sage warned Kaito about. A creature that's existed for 10,000 years. His power is said to rival gods. He sends a message through a dream. It's simple. I want to meet you. Bring your party if you want. Come to the Obsidian Throne in 3 months. We'll talk. Kaito discusses it with his friends. Marcus thinks it's a trap. Yuki thinks it's an opportunity. Leon thinks it's inevitable. Kaito agrees with Leon. Beings like the Demon King don't make requests lightly. Refusing would be an insult, and insulting someone that powerful is stupid. So Kaito agrees. 3 months from now, the Obsidian Throne, just talking. The Demon King's response comes immediately. Good, I look forward to it. The dream ends. Kaito wakes up sweating. Even through a dream, he could feel the Demon King's power. It's vast, ancient, nothing like the dimensional creature he fought. This is something that's had millennia to perfect its strength. The fight, if it comes to that, will be apocalyptic. The 3 months pass in preparation. Kaito trains, not his body, that doesn't need training, but his control, his technique, his ability to fight smart instead of just hard. The sage visits and gives him advice. The Demon King is cunning, the old man warns. He survived 10,000 years not through strength alone, but through intelligence. He'll try to understand you, figure out your weaknesses. Don't give him anything to work with. Kaito promises to be careful. Yuki upgrades all their equipment with the best enchantments available. Marcus practices new techniques. Leon studies ancient battles against the Demon King to understand his tactics. They're as prepared as they can be. When the day arrives, they travel to the Obsidian Throne. It's a fortress in the wastelands. Black stone and red banners. Demons patrol the walls, but they don't attack. They've been ordered to let Kaito's party through. Inside, the throne room is massive. The ceiling is 100 feet high, the floor is polished obsidian that reflects like a mirror, and sitting on a throne made of crystallized shadows is the Demon King. He's beautiful in a terrible way. Perfect features, long black hair, eyes like molten gold. He looks young, maybe 25, but those eyes are ancient. Above his head, his level says 99, the highest anyone has ever seen. He stands when they enter and smiles. It's a genuine smile, welcoming. Kaito. He says, I've waited a long time to meet you. His voice is smooth, cultured, nothing like the grinding glass of the dimensional creature. Please sit, we have much to discuss. Kaito's party takes seats at a table that wasn't there a moment ago. Magic, casual and effortless. The Demon King sits across from them and gestures. Food and drink appear, all of it safe. Kaito can tell with his infinite senses. No poison, no curses, just hospitality. Why did you want to meet? Kaito asks bluntly. The Demon King's smile widens. Because you're interesting. In 10,000 years, I've met exactly 3 beings who could challenge me. The Celestial Empress, the Void Walker, and now you, a paradox. I wanted to see if the rumors were true. Kaito meets his gaze, and are they? The Demon King laughs. Oh yes, you're everything they say and more. Tell me, have you figured out what happens when 2 infinite powers collide? Kaito tenses. The Demon King notices and raises a hand. Peace. I'm not here to fight, I'm here to offer you something. Knowledge. You see, Kaito, you're not the first paradox I've met. The woman Arya, I knew her. We were friends, actually. Strange as that sounds, she taught me something important. Infinity isn't about power, it's about understanding. Understanding what? Kaito asks. Everything, the Demon King replies. When you have unlimited strength, speed, and endurance, the physical world becomes trivial. The real challenge is the metaphysical. Questions of purpose and meaning and consequence. Arya struggled with this. She was so powerful that nothing could threaten her. Nothing could challenge her. She became bored. And boredom, for an infinite being, is a special kind of hell. So what did she do? Yuki asks quietly. The Demon King's expression turns sad. She tried to create challenge where none existed. Started wars to have something to stop. Created disasters to have something to fix. Eventually, she realized she was causing more harm than good, so she left, ascended to a higher plane where her power wouldn't affect this world. Kaito feels cold. Is that what you think I should do? Leave. The Demon King shakes his head. No. I think you should find purpose beyond power. Arya's mistake was defining herself by her strength. You have the chance to be different. Define yourself by your choices, your connections, your impact. Not what you can destroy, but what you can build. He gestures to Kaito's party. You've already started. These people, they don't follow you because you're strong. They follow you because you're good. Hold on to that. Let it anchor you. Without it, you'll drift just like Arya did. Kaito looks at his friends. Marcus gives him a nod. Yuki smiles. Leon's expression is serious but supportive. They believe in him. Not because he's infinite, because he's Kaito. Because he saved them. Because he treats them like equals, because he's kind. The Demon King is right. That's what matters, not the power, the person wielding it. The meeting ends peacefully. The Demon King offers his friendship, not alliance, not servitude, just mutual respect between powerful beings. Kaito accepts. They part ways with an understanding. If either needs help that only the other can provide, they'll answer. No obligations, no debts, just cooperation. On the way back to the capital, Marcus speaks. That went better than expected. I thought we'd have to fight our way out. Yuki agrees. He seemed almost nice. For a Demon King, Leon is more thoughtful. He gave us a warning disguised as advice. Don't let the power consume you. Stay human. Kaito nods. That's exactly what it was. And he's right. I need to remember who I am beyond the stats, beyond the level. I'm Kaito. I'm an adventurer. I'm your friend. That's what matters. The final challenge comes a year later. The Void Walker makes contact. Unlike the Demon King's friendly invitation, this is a threat. The Void Walker is older than the Demon King, older than recorded history. They exist in the spaces between dimensions, the gaps in reality. Their power isn't measured in levels because they exist outside the system entirely. The message comes through reality itself. Words written in stars, written in cracks in the ground. Written in the pattern of falling leaves. I'm coming. Prepare yourself. No location, no time, just certainty. Kaito doesn't know how to prepare for something like this. The sage is worried. Even the Demon King sends a warning. The Void Walker is dangerous in ways we're not. They don't fight like we do. They fight by erasing, making things never have existed. If they target you, the battle won't be about strength. It'll be about existence itself. Can you fight someone who can make you not have been born? Kaito doesn't know, but he's about to find out. The Void Walker appears 3 weeks later. Not in physical space, in conceptual space. They exist between one moment and the next, between one breath and another. Kaito feels them before he sees them. A wrongness in reality, like a word that doesn't fit in a sentence. He's in the capital when it happens. Market day. Thousands of people. All of them freeze. Time stops. Everything except Kaito and the Void Walker. They manifest as a figure made of absence. A human-shaped hole in space. When Kaito looks at them, he sees stars, galaxies, the infinite void between worlds. Your existence is anomalous, the Void Walker says. Their voice comes from everywhere and nowhere. You should not be. I will correct this. Kaito feels something pulling at him, not his body, his concept. The idea of Kaito Hayashi. The Void Walker is trying to erase him from the timeline. Make it so he was never born. Everyone who knew him will forget. Everything he did will be undone. He'll simply never have existed. And against this, strength means nothing. But Kaito is infinite. And infinity has a property most people don't understand. It can't be reduced. You can subtract anything from infinity, and it remains infinite. The Voidwalker tries to erase him. Kaito feels chunks of his timeline disappearing. Moments, days, years, but there's always more. Infinite existence, infinite moments, infinite possibilities. The Voidwalker can erase forever and never finish. They realize this and stop. Interesting. You persist. Very well. If I cannot erase you, I will contain you. They create a prison, a pocket dimension outside time and space, a place where Kaito can exist without affecting anything. Perfect isolation, eternal, unbreakable. They begin to push Kaito into it. He resists. His infinite strength lets him push back. But the Voidwalker isn't using strength. They're using reality manipulation. It's a stalemate. Kaito can't be erased or contained, but he can't fight back either. How do you punch a concept? How do you destroy absence? He needs a different approach. Kaito stops fighting. The Voidwalker pauses, confused. Kaito speaks. Why do you want to erase me? I haven't hurt you, haven't threatened you. What did I do? The Voidwalker considers this. You exist outside the rules. You're a paradox. Paradoxes create instability. If left unchecked, you could damage reality itself. I maintain reality, therefore, I must remove you. Kaito thinks fast. What if I help you maintain reality? Use my power to fix problems instead of causing them. Would that be acceptable? The Voidwalker is silent for a long moment. You would serve me. No, Kaito says, I would work with you. As equals, you handle threats to reality's structure. I handle threats to the people living in that reality. Division of labor. The Voidwalker considers this. Then they release the prison. Your proposal has merit, but I will be watching. If you become a threat, I will act. Kaito nods. Fair enough. I'll hold myself accountable. The Voidwalker fades. Time restarts. The market returns to normal. Nobody knows how close they came to Kaito never existing, except Kaito, and he'll remember. 5 years pass. Kaito is 27 now. Still level 1, still infinite, but he's learned so much. How to control his power, how to live with it, how to use it responsibly. His party is still together. Marcus is level 52 now. Yuki is 46. Leon is 58. They're some of the strongest adventurers in the kingdom, but more importantly, they're family. They've saved each other's lives dozens of times, celebrated victories, mourned losses, grown together. Kaito has other responsibilities now too. He's the kingdom's hero. He trains new adventurers, advises the king on threats, maintains relationships with powerful beings like the Demon King and the Voidwalker. He's even started dating someone, a healer named Sora, who saw past his power to the person underneath. She's level 32 and absolutely terrifying in her own way. She doesn't take any of his nonsense, calls him out when he's being stupid, makes him laugh, makes him feel human. They're happy together. The kingdom prospers. With Kaito and his party protecting it, threats that would have destroyed civilizations are stopped before they escalate. Dimensional rifts are closed. Ancient evils are sealed. Political conflicts are mediated before they become wars. It's not a perfect world. Bad things still happen, people still suffer, but it's better. Measurably better. And Kaito knows he played a part in that. Not because he's infinite, but because he chose to use that infinity for good. Because he remembered the sage's warning about purpose. Because he stayed human even when he could have become something else. His level is still 1, the number that got him abandoned, the number that made people call him worthless. But now when people see that one, they know what it really means. It means the strongest person alive chose humility over pride, chose connection over isolation, chose service over power. The number didn't define him, he defined the number. The story ends on a quiet day. Kaito is sitting on a hill outside the capital watching the sunset. Sora is beside him. His party is scattered across the kingdom on various quests, but they'll meet up tomorrow. The sage visits occasionally to check on him. The Demon King sends letters with philosophical questions. The Voidwalker watches from the spaces between, but doesn't interfere. Life is good. Not perfect, but good. Kaito thinks about his parents sometimes, wonders if they're alive. if they know what he became, if they regret abandoning him. He's not sure how he'd feel if they showed up. Angry, hurt, forgiving, probably all three, but that's okay. Complicated feelings are part of being human, and staying human is what matters most. Sora leans against his shoulder. "You're thinking too hard again," she says. Kaito smiles. "Probably." She pokes his cheek. "Stop it. Enjoy the sunset. Be present." He does. The sky is beautiful. Orange and pink and purple. The air is cool. The grass is soft, his person is beside him, his friends are safe, his purpose is clear. He's infinite in power, but finite in time. Each moment matters, each choice counts, each connection is precious. The level above his head says 1, and that's perfect, because 1 is where he started, 1 is who he is, 1 is enough. The boy who was abandoned for being worthless became the hero who saved the world, not because his level changed, not because he gained power, but because he chose to matter, because he defined his own worth, because he proved that numbers are just numbers. What matters is what you do with what you have. And Kaito had infinity, but he used it like it was finite, like it was precious, like it mattered. And that made all the difference. His story isn't about being the strongest, it's about being the best person he could be with the strength he had. It's about choosing connection over isolation, purpose over power, humanity over divinity. That's what makes him a hero, not the infinity, the choice. And he makes that choice every single day, to help, to protect, to care, to stay human, to be Kaito level 1, infinite in all the ways that matter. That's where the story ends. But his journey continues, because there's always another person to help, another threat to stop, another day to live, and Kaito will be there. Level 1. Infinite, human, ready.